Everybody, this is Bob Wolf with Buff Dinelli greeting you from the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana. Happy New Year to you all. Over 80,000 football fans have gathered here on New Year's Day in mild 60-degree weather to witness the clash between the University of Arkansas Razorbacks and the University of Mississippi Rebels. And what a game this should be. Mississippi came through its regular season undefeated and untied. Its first perfect record in 70 years of football. Arkansas won 9, lost 1. And the one loss to Texas came in the final minute of that game. So the Razorbacks were less than a minute away from an undefeated season 2. And along with Hatfield, number 46 for the Razorbacks. There's the whistle. We're getting set now. Irwin approaches the ball. There's the boot, and the football game is on. It's a high kick that's going down to the 2-yard line. Taken by Hatfield, the 2, back to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, along the sidelines to the 30, the 35, knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 40 at the 41-yard line. Chuck Maris came up along with Bobby Robinson for the tackles. A fine run back. Dixon also helped on that play as Kenny Hatfield from Arkansas, who had 20 punt returns this past season and also 7 kickoff returns for 198 yards, took that ball in his 2 and moved it back just slightly across the 40-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Razorbacks. Moore swings out, is stopped as he spun out, moved to the left, and was met head-on there by Big Jim Dunaway, number 78, along with Don Dixon, number 67. And this Dunaway is a boy that is certainly one of the greats in line play. And this time they were waiting for Moore as he spun out, rolled to his left, and was thrown for a 2-yard loss. Moore this time flips out, and he flips out to Branch. Branch tries the right side, can't find a hole. Goes forward barely for a half-yard or so as Don Dixon again came in to make that stop, along with Buck Randall, who came up from a secondary spot, and also in the tackle was Reed Davis, the end. So we've had 2 plays, Buff, and it looks like the Rebels have diagnosed both of them. It's 3rd and 11. The ball right now is in the 39-yard line of Arkansas. 3rd and 11 to go. Moore rolls out the pass, throws, and it's knocked down and almost intercepted by Buck Randall, number 41 of the Mississippi Rebels, intended for Tommy Moore. Incomplete. It was a quick, short pass over the center, and that means it's 4th and 11 to go. The ball remaining on the 39-yard line of Arkansas, and they'll be forced to boot here as we've seen a very rugged Mississippi defense here in the first few minutes of the Sugar Bowl. Here's the kick, and it's a high, beautiful spiral. What a boot. Going all the way down, bounces in the 5 and into the end zone. What a boot that was. Tommy Moore laid the toe to that one, didn't he?
He sure hit that ball. There must be a little bit of wind up there to carry it because it just seemed to take off and hit on the 5-yard line and roll right into the end zone.
And so Mississippi, and they've won that ball with the defense. Now take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Here comes Mississippi now, up to the line of scrimmage. They're at the 20 after the touchback on the punt. And the handoff this time goes to Dunn. And Dunn trying the right side, can't find a hole, and he stopped after picking up just about a yard and a half on the play as Tommy Brasher came up for the tackle on that one. And so far, we've seen 2 tremendous lines.
Well, they say they play a real defensive game down here, and I would say that the first 3 or 4 plays have indicated so, Bob.
He's seeing the same type formation as the wing tee to the right this time, with the quarterback, Griffing, calling signals to the Mississippi Rebels. A long count this time as he waits for the snap from center. He rolls out to his right. He's going to pass. He throws. Incomplete. It was intended for the big end, cutting down the field, Woody Dabbs. And it was overthrown just slightly. Incidentally, on the sidelines here, I see that big Frank Lambert, who was punting in the pregame practice, is limbering up that leg of his in case he has to do any booting. So apparently he may be in there or Dunn may be booting. They both boot for the Rebels. 13 minutes left to go in this first period on a bright, sunny, mild 60-degree afternoon. This time Guy is spread wide to the right for the Rebels. In motion goes Morris, and the ball goes to the quarterback, Griffing. He goes back to pass. He's being rushed. He wiggles away from one man being pursued. Going for a big loss. Whoa, what a loss. Adams came in to lead the charge, along with Grizzle. And that tremendous loss in the play all the way back to the Rebels' 5-yard line. Buff?
Well, it's evident that both of these teams are really up, and I want to tell you they are really getting across that line of scrimmage.
So it's 4th and 25, and Lambert comes into boot. He's standing in his end zone. There's the kick. It's high up in the air and very short. A fair catch is signaled for on the 27-yard line.
Well, there's the first break, Bob. You can see that for the first time, Arkansas is going to have that ball in a very fine position and exactly about the 27-yard line.
Parker took that fair catch as the kick by Lambert from his end zone was straight up in the air, but it had no carry to it, and it went out to the 27-yard line, and Mississippi Rebels dig in as Arkansas has the ball on the Ole Miss 27. In motion right now is Branch, and the ball goes to Brabham as Brabham, the big fullback, cuts off the right side, picks up very scant yardage, 1 yard on the play, moving the ball to the 26 as Bobby Robinson, number 68, and Don Dixon, number 67 of the Rebels, come in for the stop. Ross also in on the play. So it's second and a little over 8 to go. The ball nestling close to the 25-yard line. And this time Moore rolls back to pass. He's rushed. He throws. It is knocked out and almost intercepted as Chuck Morris, a defensive back, reached up with one hand and almost pulled it down, made a dive for the ball before it hit the ground. Ross also in on the play. Intended that time for the number 1 receiver of the Razorbacks, Jerry Lamb, but incomplete. And now going in the ball game is Jim Worthington, number 42, a wingback going in for the Razorbacks. And Parker, number 27, goes out of the ball game. With Arkansas in possession, Billy Moore calling the signals. In motion goes Branch. Moore skirts out to his right. He's going to keep the ball. He's hit and thrown for a loss. Buck Randall came up and pinned him. And the loss will move that ball to the 27-yard line. A loss on the play as Billy Moore, that great run of the nation's top ground-gaining quarterback, tried to move around that right side, and he was hit and thrown for a loss. And that means it'll be 4th down coming up and 9 to go. Bob Wolf and Buff Nelly here at the Sugar Bowl, where it's 4th and 9 to go. The ball's on the 27-yard line, and McNally comes in to do the booting on a attempted field goal. Gray will hold. There's the kick. It's a low one. It's not going to make it. It hits the dirt at about the 4-yard line and skids into the end zone. Right now, Guy is spread out to the right side on the wing tee as Griffing flips back to Morris, and Morris tries the right side for short yardage. He picks up 3 yards in the play. Gary Howard is the first man in from the Arkansas Razorbacks to make the tackle, and the ball moves from the 20 to the 23. Now Buck Randall is going in the ball game for the Mississippi Rebels. There's no score. We're in the first quarter of the Sugar Bowl here in New Orleans. Guy once again is in motion, and the ball is flipped to Guy off the left side. He's being pursued as he goes along that left side and is knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Hatfield came over to finally drive him out of bounds on the play. Louis Guy, who is in motion to the left that side, moving that ball to the spotted at the 29-yard line, and now Dunn goes back in the lineup for Mississippi, and Randall comes out of the ball game for the Ole Miss 11. Louis Guy, who is the gentleman who led the team in scoring with 48 points this past year, picked up the yardage. Once again, it's Morris in motion, and this time Griffing keeps, rolls out to his right, and is hit hard as he gets forward for just a short gain on the play. Coming up was big Jerry Mazzatti, who was one of the standout players for the Arkansas Razorbacks. The runner, Griffing, keeping the ball, moved to the 32, and it looks as if he may have picked up that first down. He has picked up the first down. So Ole Miss picks up the first down on the keep by Glynn Griffing. Griffing, incidentally, is 6'1", 200 pounds, 21 years old. He's a senior. This time in motion is Guy moving out to the left, and there's a quick handoff. The center of the line goes Randall on a buck off the right side, and Randall gets forward to the 34-yard line before Howard, along with Evans, come in for the stops for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So it'll be second down coming up and 7 to go. Now Dunn moves back in, and Randall, who just took that last carry, comes over to the sidelines where he has a few words with Johnny Vaught, the coach of the Rebels. Once again, Guy in motion, swinging out to the left. Griffing this time gives off to Morris, and Morris off the right side of the line moves forward to the 37-yard line where he spilled there. Bryant was the first man in for the Razorbacks, along with Gary Howard, number 82. Randall goes back in, and this time Dunn again heads out with a 3rd and 4th coming up. The ball on the 38-yard line of Ole Miss. There's no score, 8 minutes to go in the first quarter here in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. And now Guy is a flanker wide to the left as Griffing swings to the right this time, cuts in, finds a hole, and rolls out of bounds after moving forward to the 46-yard line. This Glynn Griffing is a great runner, Buff.
Yes, he is, and of course they're using an awful lot of man in motion today, Bob, if you'll notice, and the reason for that is the type of defense that Arkansas is using, which as soon as we get a chance, I'd like to explain it because it has a lot of bearing on this particular game.
This time again there's a handoff, and the ball carrier is Perry Lee Dunn, who slides along the right side, is met there after picking up very short yardage, perhaps a yard on the play. Hoover Evans of Fayetteville, Arkansas, in there for the stop. So the Razorbacks right now have their defensive huddle. Randall comes back in the ball game for the Rebels, replacing Dunn, as these two men have been alternating in and out there at the fullback spot. And the down coming up the second, and a little over 8 yards to go. The ball is on the 47-yard line of Ole Miss. Griffing this time swings out to the right and is knocked out of bounds close to the midfield stripe. Glynn Griffing has been going off that right side. He was stopped by Tommy Moore, came over to bump him out of bounds. And as they spot the ball just across midfield in Arkansas territory, it means there'll be 3rd and 5 to go. For Ole Miss, just barely into Arkansas territory. Griffing swings out. Looks like he may pass. He does pass and complete on a short pass to Chuck Morris. Morris at the 44-yard line is hit by Tommy Brasher, who's coming up, the boy from El Dorado, Arkansas, to make the grab. And it's a first down for Ole Miss as the Rebels now pick up their 3rd first down. Well, they bring the ball in the spot at the 44 in Arkansas territory. Buff, you had a few remarks you wanted to pass on.
Yes, the Arkansas team is using a defense, basically a 5-man line with what they call a monster.
Now it's 1st and 10 at the 44. There's a pitch out to Guy. Guy wriggles his way clear of one man, gets forward to the 41-yard line where he's stopped after a gain of 2 yards in the play. Brasher again comes in for the stop. This monster man, interesting terminology, is a roving linebacker then.
Yes, he is. He's a roving linebacker. In this particular case, it appears as though Arkansas is placing him where the wingback lines up.
It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go, and Morris is in motion. Griffing slides to his left this time, keeps, and rams his way forward to the 38-yard line before he's met there as the secondary come up on the play for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And coming up on the tackle is Mike Hales. The down coming up is the 3rd. There are 4 yards to go. The ball's on the 38-yard line. And Mississippi is churning out the yardage on this march now. They have picked up 3 first downs. They have 3rd and 4. Morris is in motion to the right this time. Griffing moves out to his right. He throws. It's a completed forward pass to Lewis Guy. Guy is down at the 30-yard line. A quick snap pass. Sparks came up for the stop on the play, along with Hatfield, and a big number 46, Kenny Hatfield, a sophomore, came in to get that receiver, Lewis Guy, as it's the 4th first down, picked up now by Ole Miss. Morris is in motion. They give this time is to Dunn, and the big fullback crashes his way inside the 30 to the 27-yard line before Buddy Tackett comes up for the stop. Tackett assisted in there as Cavanis also came up to aid. So the ball right now is in the 27 where it's 2nd down coming up and 6 to go. Morris is in motion. They give this time is to Dunn, and the big fullback crashes his way inside the 30 to the 27-yard line before Buddy Tackett comes up for the stop. Tackett assisted in there as Cavanis also came up to aid. So the ball right now is in the 27. We're at second down coming up and 6 to go.
End run pass idea, which Griffing is using to great advantage.
So it's second and 6. Once again, Morris is in motion, and Griffing this time gives off to Randall, and look at that fellow pull his way forward. He put down his head and just charged down to the 21-yard line. Kenny Hatfield in on the stop, and assisting Hatfield on the stop was Tommy Brasher, number 54. So it's third and 2 yards to go. The ball right now is on the 22-yard line of Arkansas. In motion is Morris. Griffing calls signals. This is Dunn off the left side. He finds a hole. He wriggles his way forward and looks like he's picked up another first down for the Rebels. Cavanis finally stopped him. It's a first down for Mississippi on the Arkansas 18-yard line as they have steadily ground out this yardage, and they have now picked up 5 first downs on this march. It's second and 7 to go. The ball's on the 15-yard line of Arkansas. Griffing moves out to his right. He keeps the ball, and he crashes forward for 3 more yards, moving that ball to the 12-yard line. Ray Trail, the co-captain of the Arkansas Razorbacks, came in for that stop along with Jerry Mazzatti. Big number 76 and Jim Grizzle, number 84. And this Grizzle, incidentally, was the first end to ever lead Arkansas in the defensive statistics. Right, Buff, it's third and 5 to go, and Griffing's going to pass. He throws over the goal line. Incomplete. Lewis Guy went for that pass, and he touched it, but it bounded off him. Moore was covering for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Beautiful defensive play, and of course there it was, the forward pass off that running play again.
And now Irwin's coming in to try for a field goal. Holding will be Morris. The ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line. It's spotted. There's the boot. It's a high one, end over end. It is a little wide. It is no good. So there's no score still, and we pause 10 seconds for station identification. And Arkansas has that ball on the touchback in their own 20 with no score in the first period. There's the handoff to Brabham, and Brabham rams off the right side, moving the ball from the 20-yard line just barely over the 20 to the 21. In on the tackle was Kimbrell for Ole Miss, along with Wilkins, and it will be 2nd and 9 coming up for the Arkansas Razorbacks with no score in the first period. End split out wide to the left. There's a buck off the right side, the ball carrier, number 42, Jim Worthington. And Worthington moves from the 21 to the 24-yard line before he's finally brought down. Coming up was Jim Witherly on the stop, along with Alan Brown for Mississippi. So it'll be 3rd down coming up. This time there's a flip back to Branch. He's being rushed. He is thrown for a loss. Roberts came breaking through the left side, and on that flip back to Jesse Branch, who was the number 2 runner on the Razorbacks, he was thrown back to the 17-yard line. Big Jim Roberts, a 245-pounder, 6'1", came bursting through, and that means it'll be 4th and 14 to go as Moore gets set to punt. And Morris is back in a safety. He lets the ball roll as it bounds across midfield. And it finally bounds back onto the other side of the midfield into the Arkansas territory to the Arkansas 49. And certainly I might point out that this Moore, who is doing the booting, is Tommy Moore, not Billy Moore. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score, Mississippi nothing and Arkansas nothing. All set for the second quarter. Bob Wolf and Buff Dinelli here at the Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss has the ball on the Arkansas 49-yard line. And on a quick handoff this time, Ole Miss moves that ball from the 49-yard line to the 44 with Dave Jennings, known as the Jet, making the carry. And Tommy Brasher was the first man to come up to make the stop. Also in on the play was Trail for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So it's second down coming up and 4 yards to go. The ball right now on the 44-yard line of Arkansas. Ole Miss has Johnson now in motion coming toward the near side. And this time the quarterback keeps the ball himself. Jim Weatherly, who started out this quarter, he goes off the right side, moving the ball to the 40-yard line where Jesse Branch comes up from the defensive spot to make the tackle as that ball is moved very close to a first down. Be spotted at the 39-yard line, and we'll have a measurement at this point to see whether or not the new quarterback, Jim Weatherly, has or has not picked up the first down. So Arkansas actually is in yardage, is minus yardage at this point. They're minus 10 yards at this point, according to our unofficial statistics. We're waiting for the measurement now for this first down to see whether or not Ole Miss has picked it up on the quarterback carry, and it looks like they've missed it just by inches. They come out of the huddle with the ball on the Arkansas 39-yard line. There's a quarterback sneak. They pick up the first down, and extra yardage to spare as the ball is moved to the 32-yard line. Jim Weatherly just put his head down and plowed his way forward. Jerry Mazzatti finally brought him down. And now Johnson comes out of the ball game. And no, Johnson will stay in. They bring out Guy out of the ball game. We've seen the quarterbacks looking that ball, Buff, for the yardage so far.
This is true. They're the key men in every instance.
It's a first down on the 32 of Arkansas. Johnson is in motion. He gets the pitch out going off the right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then picks up a yard or so as he is finally knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field. Coming over there was Cavanis along with Trail. Now going in the ball game is Larry Smith going the backfield for Ole Miss, and Johnson is coming over to the sidelines. Last time their march was thwarted when they finally tried for a field goal and it missed. Arkansas also has missed a field goal in the game. Weatherly slides out, throws a complete forward pass to Fred Roberts, and Roberts is knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line by Jesse Branch. It was a sideline pass to Fred Roberts, a big fullback, and the 200-pounder took that ball, was knocked out of bounds on the 24-yard line. Johnson this time is the wing back off to the right side as we get set for the play. And once again, Weatherly in a quarterback sneak. Goes off the right side, finds a big hole, gets to the 16-yard line before he's brought down. It's been a most effective play, that quarterback keeping it, taking advantage of that defense. And that is another first down with the ball to be spotted on the 16-yard line. And Buff, I know you have some comments on that.
Yes, this quarterback here is doing a tremendous job. You know, that pass that he threw before, he worked that off a bootleg, which was a fake to the fullback up the middle.
So it's a first down on the 16-yard line, and Weatherly again sneaks this off the left side of the center, and he picks up 3 yards on this thrust. Mazzatti finally comes in to make the stop for Arkansas. Now time is back in. It's a wing tee to the left. In motion is the fullback Jennings, and the quarterback Weatherly keeps the ball as he slides off the left side. Flags go down, and there's a slight loss on the play. Coming up for the tackle that time was Trail along with Cavanis, and we'll see what the official decision will be. Illegal procedure called against Mississippi, and the penalty is declined by Arkansas. Man in motion is Jennings. Back to pass goes the quarterback. He throws over the goal line. It is incomplete. Incomplete pass. Intended for Reed Davis, and it was broken up by Mike Parker, and on that play, Parker made a dive for the ball, and he almost caught it as it was knocked down to the ground. And now Irwin will attempt a field goal from the 20 with Morris holding. The stop from center placed down. Irwin's boot is a high one. Let's watch. It's good. Tom out of the field with the score. Mississippi 3, Arkansas nothing. Field goal coming after 4 minutes and 4 seconds of this second quarter. Ole Miss will kick now as Irwin approaches the ball, gets up a high kick going all the way down to the goal line. Taken by Hatfield at the goal line, back to the 10-yard line, the 15, the 20, the 25, and he's knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 25, knocked out of bounds on the 27-yard line. Alan Brown, a big sophomore from Natchez, Mississippi, whose brother Jerry was at Ole Miss as a tackle in 1961, come over to make that tackle along with Don Dixon. So we're all set now as Arkansas has that ball, trailing by a 3-0 score. We've seen both teams attempt earlier field goals. This one, of course, is clicked in the second quarter. And this time there's a quick handoff going to Jesse Branch as Branch moves his way forward to the 30-yard line. Good gain of the play, and it'll be second down and 6 to go. Ball resting at the 30. Arkansas with the ball, and this time the right end Finch is spread out on the right side of the line as Moore spins out, keeps the ball, can't find a hole, and barely falls forward for a yard on the play. Roberts coming in for the stop, along with Don Dixon, both of whom have played outstanding game defensively. And the down coming up, the third, with 4 yards to go. The ball's on the 32-yard line in Arkansas territory. Mississippi leads by a 3-0 score. We're in the second quarter of play. Moore this time moves to his left, throws over the line of scrimmage. The ball is juggled by Branch, and it falls to the ground incomplete. That was a quick pop pass off the left side, and Branch got his mitts on it, but he was hit at the moment of impact by Reed Davis, and the ball was knocked down.
They employ, both of these teams, Bob, are employing what we call a spread-out pass. The quarterback slides out on an angle very fast and throws that ball quickly, and in this particular case, he was throwing it to the tailback right out in that flat, and he juggled that ball briefly, and even when he fell, the ball fell into his hands, but he couldn't hold on to it.
Now with 4th and 4 and the ball at the 32, Tommy Moore goes into punt formation. And we're getting set now for his boot. Morris, a deep safety, is a high, tremendous spiral. And it's taken on the 20-yard line and a fair catch by Buddy Crosby, the other safety man. That was a beautiful high kick, and Buddy Crosby, standing on his 20, signaled for the fair catch that time, and
that young fellow really gets his foot into that ball, doesn't he, Bob? He kicked that one a great distance, and it was very, very high.
Mississippi has the ball on their own 21. 1st and 10. Mississippi leading 3-0. And there's a quick pitch back this time going to Lewis Guy. Guy moves that ball to the 23-yard line before he was stopped by Tommy Moore. Now going in the ball game is Buck Randall for the Rebels, and leaving the ball game is Perry Lee Dunn in that backfield spot for Ole Miss in the fullback position. 2nd and 7 to go. The ball on the 24 of Ole Miss. The Rebels lead 3-0 on a field goal. And there's a fake and a pass over the center to Randall. Randall moving that ball to the 39-yard line before he was filled. Griffing had a beautiful fake that time, then the pass to Randall, and Hatfield came up to make the tackle. The official will spot that ball, the 39, where it's another first down coming up. So Ole Miss is running up those first downs, and now they have 8 first downs, and Arkansas has yet to register a first down on this game. Arkansas still is on the minus side in the yardage. In motion is Morris. Griffing this time. Hands off, and a thrust off the right side to Dunn. Moves the ball from the 39 to the 41-yard line. Mike Hale's the first man up for the Razorbacks to get to him, along with Buddy Tackett, number 74. Now back in the ball game goes Randall. It'll be second on coming up at 8 to go. The ball on the 41-yard line of Mississippi. And the score of the ball game is Mississippi 3 and Arkansas nothing. Moving out to pass is Griffing. He's rushed. He bangs into his blocker. He gets off the pass, incomplete. In trying to wrestle free, he banged into Tommy Brasher, a blocker, as he moved off the right side. He finally did unleash the pass, and it was intended for Buck Randall, but to no avail. It's third and still 8 to go. Third down coming up. Griffing this time moves along the right side. He's going to throw. He throws complete to Guy. Guy takes the ball out of bounds on the 43-yard line in Arkansas territory, but there's a flag on the play. And that ball is being brought back right now.
Looked like a holding penalty, Bob. The umpire called it. Usually when he calls it's a holding penalty.
That's just what it is, and 15 big yards. So that ball is now put on the Ole Miss 32, where it's third and 23 to go. Once again, we have Randall and Dunn alternating there in the backfield. Third and 23 for the University of Mississippi Rebels. Griffing this time going back to pass, gets good protection. He throws. It is complete to Morris. Morris is hit at the 43-yard line by Mike Parker, number 27 of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and knocked out of bounds.
That was the first play that he's used so far that resembled what we call a drop-back pass. He kind of dropped back a little bit to his right and flared his tailback off around his side and hit him and apparently wide open.
Lambert back in punt formation. Hatfield, the safety man. Hatfield shielding his eyes from the sun. There's a long boot. Hatfield takes it in the 5. He's back to the 10. Starts to the sidelines. Jumps away from one man. Gets to the 15. Is hit as he crosses the 15. And down he goes to the 18-yard line as Chuck Morris, number 23, is the first man in for the Rebels to make the tackle.
There's a little ballet dancing there, wasn't there? He jumped over a couple of men and finally ran into a big wall. Running pass technique, which he's doing so very well.
Now Arkansas has the ball on their own 17-yard line. There's a quick handoff to Jesse Branch as he goes off the right side and moves the ball from the 17 to the 20-yard line. Robinson is in for the stop for Ole Miss. And Arkansas is finding it difficult to run against Mississippi. So far, they're trying to edge into the plus yardage column. This time, they said Jim Finch, an end, split wide to the left as there's a fumble on the play, and it looks as if Arkansas may have recovered on this one. Right there at the line of scrimmage.
Seemed to be a bad handoff between the center and quarterback because quarterback never really had a hold of the ball, and fortunately one of the backs fell right on it very quickly.
Moore in the lineup. Stan Sparks is also in the lineup for the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. And this time, they have the end again spread out. As going back to passes, Gray. Gray's a long pass downfield. It is complete. Running with the ball is Lamb. He may go all the way. No, he trips and falls as he goes to the 12-yard line. He was tripped up from behind, but almost kept his balance as Randall just barely got him from behind, but he regained his balance, and then as he tried to go forward, he tripped and fell on the 12-yard line. Jerry Lamb, the top receiver for the Arkansas Razorbacks, breaking out in the open to take a pass from Bill Gray, and he almost went all the way. They had to catch him from behind. They just barely hit him. He wriggled free and then lost his footing, and he went down spotted at the 13-yard line for the biggest gain Arkansas or either team has had on one play today. Now Gray, who is a sophomore, quarterbacking the team, it's 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line of Mississippi. It's a fumble. Let's see who recovers it. Arkansas recovers it. Gray, as he was pulling out that time, looked like the ball spilled right out of his hands. He was hit by big Jim Dunaway, but Arkansas recovers. It'll be second and 9.5 to go.
It seemed to me there was a mix-up between the center and quarterback.
Now Gray calling signals. Gray fades back to pass. He throws incomplete. Intended for Lamb, and it was over Lamb's head in the end zone and incomplete. So that means it'll be third and a little over 9 to go. That ball resting on the 13-yard line of Mississippi. That's still a headline maker for each side has been a sophomore, Weatherly for Ole Miss, and now Gray with his passing for Arkansas. Gray goes back to pass, throws over the goal line, incomplete. Intended this time for Jim Finch, number 81, to leap high in the air, who is being guarded by Dunn, number 10 of Ole Miss, and the ball fell incomplete. On air here is Tom McNally, the Arkansas Razorback booter, the place kicker coming in the ball game. It'll be fourth down coming up. Getting set now for the snap from center. Arms extend to the ball, snap down. There's the boot. It's a high one. It's good. And that ties the ball game. Number 89 will kick for Arkansas. And Jennings and Johnson are the deep men for the Rebels. There's the kick. It's not going too deep. Jennings takes her on the run on the 18 to the 20. He's back to the 30-yard line. Hit at the 32, and down he goes to the 33. As Jet Jennings, a sophomore from the University of Mississippi Rebels, took that ball, wasn't too deep on Jim John's kick, and returns it to the 32-yard line, 33, where it'll be put in play by Ole Miss with 4 minutes left to go in the first half of the ball game. And now, in the quarterbacking slot is Jim Weatherly for the Mississippi Rebels. He used those quarterback sneaks, as you recall, early in the game and made that team move. Johnson is now a wingback off to the left side. Johnson is in motion as he moves across the right side of the line. And there's a handoff to the halfback coming off the left side for no gain on the play. Burrowing in that time was big Wesley Bryant, number 73, for the stop, along with Mike Hales, as Jennings was stopped after moving forward for 1 yard on the play from the 33 to the 34-yard line. And moving out is Gary Howard, number 82. It's 2nd and 9 to go. The ball on the 34-yard line. Ole Miss in possession. Weatherly slides out to pass. He throws complete to Jennings. Jennings hit as he crosses the 35 on the 37-yard line for a very slight gain on the play. Tommy Moore makes the tackle at that point. It's third down coming up and 6 yards to go. The ball on the 37-yard line. Ole Miss in possession, and this ball game is all tied up at 3-3 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here in New Orleans at the Sugar Bowl game. All set to go now. In motion is Jennings moving to the left this side. Back to pass as Weatherly goes very deep to pass. He fakes. He cocks his arm. He throws. It is complete. And taking it out of bounds is Buck Randall just across midfield. Moore finally drove him out of bounds as he barely moved across the midfield stripe. Just the nose of the ball. It'll be a first down coming up for Ole Miss on the pass play.
Weatherly's going to be a fine football player because he, for all reasons there, should have been thrown for a loss and pulled himself away very nimbly and started a run, faked a sort of a run and threw the pass on the run and very successfully.
Now Glynn Griffing goes in that quarterback spot. It's played the ball barely in Arkansas territory. Jennings in motion, moving off to the left. Griffing goes back to pass. He throws to the sidelines. The pass is knocked down. It's incomplete. It was intended for big Allen Brown, and Evans reached up and knocked the ball down for Arkansas. Now Lewis Guy, number 32, goes in the ball game for Ole Miss as Johnson comes out of the ball game for the Rebels.
That was their sprint out pass that time off to the short side in which they have the right end in front of the tailback.
Make that 2 minutes to go here in this second quarter before the half comes to an end. Again, Jennings in motion. Griffing back to pass. Throws down the middle. Incomplete, intended for Lewis Guy. There were two men actually going out on the play. Wilkins, the end, also went out, and Guy also, and the ball dropped between them, but closer to Guy, who has been the top pass receiver for the Rebels this season. Morris is in motion, moving off to the left. Griffing back to pass. He looks. He throws toward Morris, and Morris has it. He's immediately down after making the catch on the 32-yard line. Mike Parker made the stop, number 27, as Morris leaped high in the air. A beautiful reception.
That was a very well-timed pass and one of the few drop-back passes that Mississippi throws. They ran Morris away over to the left in motion and just hit him right straight down the sideline.
That makes it 1st and 10 to go, the 32-yard line of Arkansas. Griffing back to pass. He throws a deep pass. It is complete. Touchdown. Lewis Guy, and a long touchdown pass scores. A 32-yard touchdown pass from Griffing to Guy. And now we're getting set for the extra point. Irwin Boots. It is good. So Mississippi now leads by a score of 10-3. Here's Buff Dinelli. Will be Hatfield and Worthington and Branch. And Irwin about to boot. There's the kick. It's going down, spinning its way to the 15, inside the 15, picked up by Branch at the 10. Branch tries to circle, and he's spilled as he gets back to the 12-yard line. Coming up for the stop was Fred Kimbrell, big number 61 for Mississippi, as Branch tried to pick that ball up and circle, but couldn't get free, and the ball will be at the Arkansas 12. As the clock now shows just a little less than 1 minute to go in the first half. And the score of the ball game is Ole Miss 10 and Arkansas 3.
Seems to me that Griffing is as good a drop-back passer as he is a running passer.
Interesting comment, Buff, and let's see what happens down this last minute of the first half as the handoff this time goes to Branch, and Branch off the left side moves the ball to the 18-yard line. Billy Moore giving him the handoff this play. Now in the ball game, Ross in for the tackle. And coming out of the ball game is Randall for Ole Miss. Moore this time again hands off to Branch, who can't find too much of a hole as he goes off the right tackle slot. He falls just barely across the 20-yard line, where he was pinned by Don Dixon of Ole Miss. Also assisting was Whaley Hall of the Rebels. So that means it's 3rd and 1 to go. The ball just across the 20. Utilizing that T formation is Moore handing off to the left side to Danny Brabham. And Brabham plows forward for what should be a first down here in the closing seconds of the first half of play, with the ball resting now on the Arkansas 22-yard line. Ross in on that stop along with Dixon. Once again, the handoff, this time going to Brabham, and Brabham rams off the left side for scant yardage, moving the ball to the 24-yard line. And it looks as if the clock may run out on these teams here in this first half of play, as Arkansas has been using ground plays here in this last minute. Finch is spread wide this time. Back to pass is Moore. He throws a screen pass complete to Branch. Branch at the 25. Branch is hit from behind at the 30 as he is down to the 32-yard line. And coming up to make that tackle was Joe Petty. So That's the story. That's the end of the first half with the score. Ole Miss 10 and Arkansas 3.
Gentlemen, I'd just like to point out for those of you who may have just tuned our way, in case you just tuned in, the score is Mississippi 10 and Arkansas 3. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And now the Ole Miss band has come out on the field, so let's go down and listen.
The Rebels getting set with Morris and Guy as the deep men. There's the whistle, and here's the kick. It's a high one, but very short. And it's dropped in between the two safety men at the 20, skids back to the 8, and it's finally picked up at the 8 and brought forward to the 15-yard line as on the play, Chuck Morris, who was waiting along with the other safety man on the play, Lewis Guy, had a little moment of indecision as to who would go for the ball. It dropped between them and was finally brought back from the 8 to the 15-yard line, where Ole Miss will put the ball in play with 1st and 10 at that point. On the tackle that time, it was Jesse Branch for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So Ole Miss, leading by a score of 10-3, has the ball now with 1st and 10 at their own 15, and we're in the third quarter of this football game. In motion goes Lewis Guy. And the give this time is to the fullback, Dunn, as Dunn plows off the right side, moves across the 15 to the 17-yard line for a short gain in the play. Randall will go in to replace him. Ray Trail, who is the co-captain of the Arkansas Razorbacks, came in for the stop along with Mazzatti. So it's now 2nd down coming up, 8 yards to go, and the ball is resting on the 18-yard line of Ole Miss deep in their territory. Is the quarterback Griffing, who keeps the ball, giving over, and there's a fumble on the play, and it's recovered. Ball was given to Randall. The fumble resulted. Mazzatti came in to recover the ball for Arkansas. So Arkansas is a big break right here as they take over on the Ole Miss 18-yard line. Looks like a repetition of the first quarter, Bob. Both Mazzatti and Trail made a dive for that ball as a Griffing to Randall give-off did not work, and the fumble resulted. Now a quick handoff to Branch. Branch cuts off the left side, goes inside the 10, and is finally knocked out of bounds on the 5-yard line. Randall came over to make the stop as Jesse Branch, number 21, wriggled his way forward for a 1st and goal to go on the 5-yard line of Ole Miss. Ole Miss sends Kenny Dill into the center of the line, number 50, and Ross comes out as Arkansas has the ball with 1st and goal to go as a result of a fumble deep in Ole Miss territory. Billy Moore calling signals, motions for quiet for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Branch goes in motion. Moore rolls out to his right. Throws to Branch. Is a touchdown. Moore to Branch, and we'll see what takes place now. Gray will hold. McNally is going back to Boot. Waiting for the stop from center. Here's the Boot. It's high. It is good. Ball game is all tied up.
So there's time out of the field with the score. Mississippi 10 and Arkansas 10. All set to go now. 12 minutes still to go in this third quarter. It's all tied up at 10-10 as a break, and Arkansas cashed in quickly on the pass to Branch. There's a boot by John. This one is a deep one. It is taken in the end zone, and there'll be a touchback there as Jennings started to run it out, thought better of it, and it's a safety called first. It may be a safety call. He took it in and took it out. The official clasped both hands over his head, which is the safety signal, as Jennings took that ball in, then decided to take it back across the goal line, and of course, he gave it the own impetus, and then he downed the ball, and this is one of those plays which will be talked about so many times. Arkansas on the two-pointer leads 12-10. They've just taken it down. It was on the board. Let's see whether or not they bring the ball out to the 20, but they're going to put it in play, so they have called it a touchback and not a safety. And now Griffing with the handoff this time to Lewis Guy. Here was a decision up on the scoreboard. They had posted the 2 points for a safety, but the ball was not put in play with a free kick. And although one official did give the safety signal down there very visibly, apparently they ruled after discussion a touchback.
I think I know what that is, Bob. We get a little time, I'll explain it. I think I know exactly what happened.
All right, so that ball, the touchback there, makes it 2nd and 9 with the ball right now on the 20-yard line. And the handoff this time is to Dunn, and Dunn rams off the right side, moving it forward to the 26-yard line. And Buff, suppose you come in if you will.
Well, here's what happened. The ball, he caught the ball in the end zone, started out as though he was going to run it out of the end zone, suddenly realized that he might run into trouble, and stopped short of the goal line. When he went down on both knees, and when he did, his right knee touched the goal line, but his left knee was at least a half a yard in the end zone, and momentarily the official thought it was a safety, but the ball never did get onto the field of play.
Right. Well, it was that close a decision one way or the other, so the officials had to discuss it. A bootleg by Griffing. He throws in the flat. It's complete to Guy. Guy to the 40. Guy to the 45. Cuts back toward the middle of the field. And as he does so to try to twist away from one tackler, he is hit, and down he goes at the 44-yard line. It's the first down, and we pause 10 seconds for station identification. So it's the first down picked up at the... That burning question, did he bring the ball back over the goal line and then go back, or did he not? And Buff says, as you heard, that he did not go back across and then reverse himself. There's a quick handoff to Randall, who was met by Cavanis, the line of scrimmage, and there's a very slight gain in the play. 1 yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9 to go. The score is 10-10.
You know, to comment on that play, Bob, you see, the official actually made a mistake, and everybody thinks that an official can't make a mistake, and I say only a mistake in that he signaled for a safety and then realized what he had done.
Right. So it's Mississippi 10, Arkansas 10, and Griffing this time rolls out to his left. He throws deep downfield. It is complete to Guy. What a catch! Guy to the 25 and the 20, and down to go at the 20-yard line. Lewis Guy, when leaping up in the air between two defenders to make that catch, Sparks, number 26, along with Moore, along with Hatfield, jumped up to defend, and right in between was Lewis Guy with a brilliant catch at the 20-yard line as Arkansas calls timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 when time is in. Ole Miss on the Arkansas 20. So there's timeout in the field with the score. Mississippi 10, Arkansas 10. Right, Buck. So it's now 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line, and the handoff this time goes to Dave Jennings. Jennings slithers off the right side, goes inside the 15, all the way down to the 12-yard line before Jim Griswold comes in for the tackle. Big gain in the play of 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2, Ole Miss.
Going out of the ball game now is Jennings, and Morris takes his place in the backfield for the Rebels. The 10-10 ball game, and Ole Miss has that ball on the 12-yard line of Arkansas. All set to go now as Griffing barks out the signals. There's a quick flip back, and the fullback coming around, Lewis Guy, is tackled for a slight loss in the play as he tries to circle off the left side. Coming in to meet him was Ronnie Covenant, along with Mike Parker. This time Guy is winged out to the right side on the wing T being employed by the Mississippi Rebels, but the slide is to the left. Griffing keeps, goes up the left side, down to the 8-yard line, still spins to the 8, goes to the 7 before he's finally down. Parker, along with Hatfield, combining for the tackle. And it's a first down picked up by Mississippi. It'll be first and goal to go for the Mississippi Rebels. And out they come as Guy is the wing wide to the right. And this time a quarterback sneak. There goes Griffing right down the middle. He is close to the goal line. Did he make it or not? There's a pileup right there at the goal line. The official untangles the bodies on that quarterback sneak as Griffing himself went through there just like a missile, just within half a foot of the goal line. Parker finally was the last man between him and getting that ball over it, and Griffing moved that ball, well, you can just see inches away from that goal line. It's second and inches to go for the touchdown. Quarterback sneak, touchdown. So the quarterback sneak, and the score is now Ole Miss 16, Arkansas 10. Here's the kick by Irwin. It is good. And the score right now is Mississippi 17 and Arkansas 10. Hold it. The official, as Irwin is about to go off the field, has blown his whistle, and both teams come running back to converge. There's a flag on the play. Illegal procedure against Arkansas. And, of course, Mississippi takes the play for the extra point, and so the score is Mississippi 17, Arkansas 10. Now the penalty is assessed here on the kickoff of 5 yards, and so Ole Miss will kick off from the 45. Well, that field is the deep safety with Branch and Worthington for Arkansas. The kick is angled toward the right sideline and is taken on the 5-yard line by Hatfield, who is along the left sideline, moving back to the 30-yard line, and he is still as he crosses the 30. The ball be spotted at the 32. That was an angled kickoff.
Yes, it was. I don't think the boy cut that ball squarely because it seemed to float in the air and was a low kick at that.
We're in the third quarter with 6 minutes left to go, and Ole Miss leads Arkansas by a score of 17-10 here in the Sugar Bowl game. This is a handoff and a quick opening play as Danny Brabham, the converted fullback, who originally was a tackle, moves the ball forward for a gain of 2 yards in the play. Wilkins and Matina both were in on the stop on the 32-yard line of Arkansas. This time they have both the end flanked as well as the halfback. And there's a fumble. Flags go down. Let's see who recovers, and let's see what the penalty call will be.
I think the defensive guard was offside on that play. Bob, it looked like he was trying to get across and apparently misjudged putting the ball in play.
The ball recovered by Arkansas, and the penalty was against Ole Miss for illegal procedure. The right end is split wide to the right. Back goes Moore to pass. He looks for Lamb. He throws deep to Lamb, and it is complete to Lamb, who was immediately down in his tracks by Buddy Crosby, number 20. A fine pass play, moving the ball to the Ole Miss 33-yard line.
That man was very well covered and jumped up in the air and reached back over the the defender's head and took the ball right out of his hands. I think that was a tremendous play.
That's two big receptions that Lamb has made, and when Arkansas appears to be going out of the ball game, it just seems to be when they get back in. Moore this time throws, penalty flag goes down. Incomplete to Branch. Moore was hit that time by Kenny Dill, number 50, as he fiddled on the left side, and we'll see what the officials rule on this one.
Looks like another defensive offside, Bob.
Penalty against Ole Miss being stepped up. And Ole Miss leading 17-10, but Arkansas refuses to be down, and they're right back in this game. Now they have Finch, the right end, spread wide. In motion goes Branch. Moore keeps the ball, throws, it's complete to Branch, who was down in his tracks on a short gator after being hit on the 25-yard line. He fell forward to the 24. Morris came up for the tackle, and Weatherly did too. That was a play in which it appeared that Moore just barely got that ball away before he crossed the line of scrimmage as he slid out to his left. A line. It's 2nd and a yard to go. And a quick opener off the right side is Danny Brabham. Rams his way forward for what may be a first down for Arkansas. It was stopped by Whaley Hall, and let's see what they signal. It's a first down. The Razorbacks pick up a first down on the Ole Miss 21. Ole Miss leads 17-10. We're in the third quarter of play. Moore back to pass. He throws over the goal line to Lamb, and is overthrown just slightly in the end zone. He was being guarded on the play by Chuck Morris, who went trailing back. 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and it's 2nd and 10, the ball remaining on the Ole Miss 21. Arkansas in possession. Billy Moore calling signals from the tee. In motion goes Branch to the left. Cutting his Lamb. There's a pass incomplete intended for Worthington. Worthington delayed slightly going along the middle there. Lamb went out over the goal line, and after Moore cocked his arm, he threw a quick one about 15 yards to the line to Worthington. Worthington just barely got his hands on it, but couldn't quite haul it in. Guy goes in the secondary there, replacing Johnson, who was sidelined. And it's now 3rd and 10, the ball remaining on the Ole Miss 21. Arkansas in possession. Moore calls signals. Moore this time goes back to pass. He's being rushed. He throws. It is complete to Lamb. What a catch. And Lamb is down in his tracks on the 12-yard line. Chuck Morris hit him. This is twice now, Buff, that we've seen Lamb hit at the moment that he's made that catch.
He made a tremendous catch there. As a matter of fact, he was being hit just as the ball reached him, and those are tough passes. That fella's got a real pair of hands on him.
All right, it's 4th and just a foot or so to go. And Moore calls for quiet as he hands off, and it looks like there may be a first down being picked up as the balls move forward just inside the 10. Brabham picking up the first down for the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Now we're seeing the number 3 and 6 teams this afternoon rated in the country. Ole Miss has just called timeout with Arkansas having moved that ball to the 10-yard line where the 1st and 10 to go. This is Mississippi, the number 3 team in the country, against Arkansas, the number 6 team in the country. And 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line. Arkansas in possession, driving toward that Ole Miss goal line. And there's the plunge by Brabham off the right side as Brabham moves forward for a gain of 3 yards in the play. Buck Randall finally makes the stop, number 41, along with Whaley Hall, number 73 for the Rebels. Going in the ballgame now is Reed Davis replacing Billy Carl Irwin in the Ole Miss line at the left end spot. It's 2nd and 7 to go for the score. A flip back to Branch. He cuts up the left side, gets to the 6-yard line, and is toppled at the 6-yard line as Whaley Hall, the tackle, comes over to make the stop at that point. The official waiting for that pile up to come out and pick up that football will place it just
barely close to the 5-yard line, where it's 3rd and goal to go. More calling signals. This time they have a double wing slot back. More runs. He's hit as he gets to the 5-yard line. There's a fumble, but the whistle is blown, and Buck Randall makes a jarring tackle at the 5 at the line of scrimmage. This time the double wing out of that tee, and it looks as if Moore, that ball be spotted at the 5-yard line, will be 4th and goal to go as Buck Randall came up with a jarring tackle on that play. So now with 4th and still 5 to go for the Arkansas score, Gray will hold and McNally will attempt a field goal. Gray extends his hands for the ball, puts it down. Here's the boot. It is high. It is good. And the score now, Mississippi 17 and Arkansas 13. Now here's the kickoff by John. It's a spiral kickoff. It's taken on the 12-yard line by Morris. Morris is back to the 20, the 25, and down to the 25. Picked that on the side of the ball and gave it a spiral downfield on that kickoff, which is unusual to witness. Coming in for the tackle that time was 69, Tommy Polk, along with number 74, Buddy Tackett for Arkansas. So Ole Miss now puts that ball in play. Time running out here in this 3rd quarter of the game. Dave Jennings, number 21, has just gone in for the Rebels. Griffing this time hands off to Jennings off the right side. Jennings goes forward to the 30-yard line. He's stopped at the 30 as Gary Howard is the first man in for the tackle, along with Wes Bryant. Bryant, incidentally, was second in defensive statistics at tackle during the season. Now it's set to go at 2nd and 5. The ball on the 30-yard line. Ole Miss in possession. Double wing being used this time as Griffing throws over the center. It's complete. And taking the ball out of bounds is Reed Davis as he's knocked out of bounds in Arkansas territory in the Arkansas 47 by Kenny Hatfield.
That was a very clever idea. They went quickly into a double wing and ran nobody in motion, seemed to send 4 men downfield, had their left end, Reed Davis, wide open, and Arkansas was very fortunate he didn't go all the way.
Now, once again, it's the wing tee to the right being used. It's 1st and 10 for Ole Miss on the 47. And the handoff this time to Jennings, who finds a hole off the right side and moves it forward close to a first down, if not a first down, inside the 40 to the 38. We'll wait and see whether or not he has picked it up. Bryant and Evans finally made the tackle for Arkansas, and Ole Miss, using this ground game, once again is moving that ball. It'll be 2nd and just a yard to go, and that takes care of the action in this period.
That Mazzetti's in there, and I'm interested to see what happens.
It's 2nd and a yard to go, and there is the yard picked up, I believe, as on the play, Ole Miss with Griffing keeping that ball himself, move forward to the 35 as Adams and Brasher finally made the stop, and it will be a first down on the 35-yard line of Arkansas. And this time they line up in the double wing tee, and the handoff this time goes to the left halfback, Jennings, who spins his way forward for a gain off the left side, moving forward 6 yards in the play, moving inside the 30, just barely inside. It'll be 2nd and 4 to go. Tommy Brasher again coming in for the stop. And Morris now goes in to replace Jennings, who has done yeoman service here on the drive that Mississippi has been engineering deep into Arkansas territory. Griffing slides out to his left. He throws, and the pass is complete to Morris. There's a flag down on the play. Morris is hit at the 24-yard line by Ronnie Cavanis, but there's a flag on the play. And we'll see what the official's decision will be as the officials now can rule this one, having a few words with the Arkansas team at this point. And 15 big yards being marched off, which certainly puts a crimp on this Mississippi march. And it's 2nd and 16 to go for Ole Miss on the Arkansas 41. Griffing going back to pass. He throws, and it is complete to Brown. And Brown is down at the 24-yard line by Hatfield along that sideline. And this picks up the first down that was apparently about to be lost.
That's that rollout pass again where he throws to the tailback, but this time he chose the end who was far enough to get a first down for the team, and it was a very well-thrown ball.
Jennings goes in the backfield, and Morris is out. It's 1st and 10 for Ole Miss on the Arkansas 24. Score 17-13. Misses leading Arkansas. Griffing this time hands off to Jennings, who goes off the right side for an advance of 2 yards on the play. Move forward to the 21-yard line. Jerry Mazzatti and Tommy Brasher is in for both in for the stop. And now Alan Brown, who caught that fine pass, leaves the ball game, and Woody Dabbs goes in at number 89 or the end spot in his place. That means that Dabbs is on the right side and Reed Davis on the left side at the end post. And we have Guy who's flanked wide to the right. Griffing rolls out to pass, and he is rushed and thrown for a loss. He was waiting for Reed Davis, the left end, number 81, to go deep. But while he was waiting, Big Jim John came barreling in to lead the Arkansas White Shirts. And back on the turf when Glynn Griffing, as he's thrown for a loss, to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 15 to go for Ole Miss. 3rd and 15. In motion is Morris. Griffing goes back to pass. He throws to Morris, who's all alone at the sideline. Morris is at the 5, and he's finally knocked out of bounds as Branch comes over along with Hatfield to drive him out of bounds inside the 5 at the 3-yard line. He was all alone, but he had to wait for a moment as he was waiting for the pass, and he was so close to the sideline when he caught that ball, Chuck Morris, he had to make sure not to go out of bounds. It was some play, and it means the Mississippi will now beat on the Arkansas goal line with 1st and goal to go. Bob?
And the Arkansas team just floated to the side he rolled, and Morris was all by himself.
Griffing this time goes back to pass. He looks, he throws over the goal line. It's knocked down. Coming up fast on the play to knock that ball down, intended for Guy, was Mike Parker, who saved what looked to be a sure touchdown as he batted that ball down. Number 27 for Arkansas. Morris replacing Jennings. Make that Jennings in. Morris out, and it's 2nd and goal to go. And Jennings thrown for a slight loss as he goes off the left side. He'll be 3rd down coming up, and 8 yards to go. Griffing calls signals. In motion is Morris, swinging out to the left. Griffing goes back to pass, and there is a pass to Morris, and Morris is knocked out of bounds to the 4-yard line. Once again, he was out there in the open, but the pass was right against the sideline, and Parker again came over to knock him out of bounds. So that brings the ball back to the 3.5-yard line, where it's 4th down coming up for Ole Miss, and Jennings goes back in.
That was the same play, only this time tailback went to the left, and Arkansas was on their toes, that time, and covered him. Even though they completed the pass, he didn't make much yardage.
Big play coming up. Griffing slides out to his right. He throws, and it is knocked down. Incomplete. Knocked down by Parker. Intended for Jennings. And this fellow Parker, number 27, has done some job defensively.
Done a great job. He really did a good job on that one because Jennings was in back of him. And, of course, it had to be a very perfect pass because there was just no room to run, no room to do anything but drop the ball in on Jennings, which Griffing did not do. It was a hard play to complete.
He moved to his right and threw across to his left. And we have Lamb out of the ball game now as the play off the right side by Danny Brabham nets just 4 yards. Coming up was Whaley Hall, along with Joe Petty for the University of Mississippi Rebels. Now Griffing leaves the ball game for Ole Miss, and Dunn goes in defensively. It'll be 2nd and 7 to go for Arkansas as they move that ball at least away from the shadow of the goal line. Gray hands off, and the ball is moved this time to the 10-yard line as Brabham again makes that plunge off the left side. Lamb goes back in the Ole Miss lineup at this point. Dunaway was in for that last stop, and it's 3rd and 4 to go for Arkansas. And they split the end. Jim John this time, as a thrust off the left side by Tommy Moore, is good for short yardage. It'll be 4th down coming up and 3 yards to go. The ball is moved this time to the 11-yard line. Hall and Dixon combine to bring down Tommy Moore, who has not seen much service this afternoon as a ball carrier that has been used on the punts. And now in punt formation goes Moore, standing in his end zone, and Guy and Morris are the safety men. Moore gets off an end-over-end kick, which goes out to the 45, and as a backward spin, and now goes out of bounds on the 43-yard line. So Mississippi takes over in the Arkansas 43, and the time left to go in the ball game, 8 minutes to play in this last period, with Mississippi holding a lead of 17-13, and this means that Ole Miss again puts that ball in play in Arkansas territory. Now all set to go with Mississippi having Weatherly at quarterback. He moves that wide to his right, trying to get free, and he is thrown for a loss on the play. Trailing him was Jesse Branch, number 21 of the Razorbacks, as Weatherly was thrown for a loss as he swung out to his right side. The loss in the play of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12, and the ball right now is on the Arkansas 45. Joining the ball game now is Buck Randall, and Fred Roberts, number 42, leaves the ball game for Mississippi. Johnson this time, number 33, is a wingback wide to the left as Weatherly calls the signals. Weatherly slides to his right. Randall throws a good block, and there is the ball carrier, Weatherly, plowing his way forward, finally going out of bounds as Evans drives him out of bounds on the 43-yard line. So Ole Miss now has a 3rd down coming up and 9 to go on the Arkansas 42-yard line.
This is their 2nd club in there, and they're doing just as well as the 1st club.
Weatherly this time fakes, goes back to pass. Now he's going to run. He's at the 40. He's at the 35 along the sideline and knocked out of bounds as he moves forward to the 30-yard line.
He's a resourceful little fella. He certainly can take off.
Hales knocked him out of bounds as Weatherly found that he couldn't pass, kept that ball and ran. And we're seeing this afternoon 2 of the great stars in the country, this ability to run or pass. That is the rival quarterbacks of these 2 clubs. It's a 1st down made by Weatherly and Ole Miss on the Arkansas 30, and the time left to go, 7 minutes in the ball game. And the ball is given for a slight gain to Buck Randall as he crosses the line of scrimmage and goes forward for a 1-yard advance on the play. Jim Grizzle led the charge along with Buddy Tackett, number 74, for the Razorbacks. It'll be 2nd and 9 to go. And of course, as Mississippi keeps churning up the yardage, they're using up the clock as well. 29-yard line of the Razorbacks. Ole Miss leading 17-13 in this last quarter of the Sugar Bowl. Weatherly slides to his right. He's keeping, and he goes out of bounds before he can pick up any yardage as Jesse Branch, number 21, comes over to run him out of bounds for Arkansas. That means that it'll be 3rd and 9 to go still. The ball will be spotted at the 29-yard line. And now Johnson goes back in the ball game, and Smith goes out for the Mississippi Rebels. All set to go as Weatherly goes back to pass, and he throws a short pass, which is complete to Randall for slight yardage as Randall moves that ball to the 24-yard line where he's knocked out of bounds by Gary Howard. They did not pick up the first down on that short pass just over the right side. And now back in the ball game goes Morris for the Ole Miss Rebels with the ball on the 24 of Arkansas. It'll be 4th and 4 to go. A little less than 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Weatherly calls signals, and he is operating out of a double wing tee this time. A long count. Weatherly going back to pass, and he throws, and it is knocked down. It was knocked down by Hatfield, intended for Brown. And Hatfield, Kenny Hatfield, a sophomore, went over and knocked that ball down as Big Alan Brown, number 80, the number 3 receiver on the team, was down that right sideline, jumping for it, but never did get to haul it in. And so we've seen Arkansas hold, and they'll take over. And while we're waiting for the change of units, here's Bufftonelli. So Arkansas takes over now, their own 24. That's Billy Gray, goes back to pass, then decides to run, and he is pinned as he gets back to the line of scrimmage as Robinson comes in for Ole Miss to make the tackle. It'll be second down as momentum picked up about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Arkansas with 6 minutes left to go in the game. Ole Miss is leading by a score of 17-13. Matina goes out for Mississippi. Arkansas with Gray going back to pass. He's being rushed. He's thrown for a big loss. Alan Brown came first again, big number 80 of Ole Miss, to throw Gray for a big loss all the way back to the Razorbacks' 11-yard line. And the Parkers at this point are facing both the Ole Miss line and also that clock. The score of the ball game, Ole Miss 17 and Arkansas 13. And the yardage, 24 yards to go. Third down coming up for Arkansas on their own 11-yard line. Gray back to pass. He's rushed. He gets off a deep pass downfield. And it is. It may be intercepted by Ole Miss. The ball carrier goes down to the ground. It's intercepted by Morris of Ole Miss. Less than 5 minutes to go on the Arkansas 48. And Arkansas trying to get that ball back. Griffing slides to his left, keeps the ball, and he goes off that left side, moving forward to the 45-yard line where he's finally hit, falls forward on the play, and the official will spot the ball at the 40. He'll spot it right at the 45, just inside the 45. Mike Parker made the stop. Sam Cornsred Jr., the publicity chairman, and all the other officials, Marshall David and company, who've made this bowl such a hospitable, wonderful place. All set to go now as Griffing slides to his left, and he gets very short yardage as he moves forward for an advance of 2 yards from the play. Brasher was the first man to come up to make the stop. There'll be third down coming up for Ole Miss with 4 yards to go, and the ball is placed at the 42-yard line. So it's third. Make it 3 yards to go on the Razorback 42.5-yard line, and 4 minutes are left to go in this game. C formation, Griffing goes back to pass, and he throws, and the pass is complete to Guy. Guy on his feet at the 30, finally driven out of bounds. He was along the sidelines, started to cut back in, then headed for the sidelines again, and Branch and Cavanis, along with Frazier, came along to knock him out of bounds.
That Griffing-Guy combination is a very good one for Ole Miss. They seem to come through just at the right time, and with the help they're getting from Morris on passes, who seems to not only been a good receiver here today, but...
Buff, I know you had a comment about that pass that went from Griffing to Davis.
Yes, actually, I'm quite sure Griffing didn't want to pass. Griffing was going to run that ball and found himself in trouble and was about to lose yardage, and being what we call a pass-run play, as a rule, receivers suddenly find themselves open on such plays, which is exactly what happened, and Griffing hit it.
Now it's first and goal to go as Griffing slides to his left this time, and he throws the opposite direction. It is intercepted by Arkansas. Arkansas brings that ball back to the 5-yard line, and they'll take over at this point. As coming up for that big interception for the Razorbacks is Tommy Moore, number 45. Lamb there at the end spot. Gray is running with the ball as he appeared to be dropped. He gets out of the 15, still on his feet, goes to the 18-yard line, and he fumbles the ball there, but I believe the whistle had blown before he fumbled. Gray apparently trapped and recovers the fumble. The whistle had blown before he fumbled. It moved the ball out to the 18-yard line, where time again is called to stop the clock, and there is just 1 minute left to go in this game. Well, Arkansas has the ball down there, 18. 2 minutes left to go. It's 1st and 10. Back to pass goes Gray. He's being rushed. He goes deep. He throws the pass, headed toward the sidelines and incomplete. I'd like to report again that Billy Moore went out some time ago hobbling off to the sidelines, and Gray has taken over since that spot, and he's in there now in the closing minutes. Moore is the nation's top ground-gaining quarterback, but was shaken up earlier in the game. He's a very adept quarterback. It's 2nd and 10. Gray back to pass. Gets good. Oh, he's hit as he gets the pass over. It's intercepted by Mississippi. Kimball intercepts the pass for Ole Miss on the 29-yard line of Arkansas. And coming in to lead that charge that time for Ole Miss was Woody Dabbs. And Griffing this time hands off to Morris, who goes forward for a gain of 2 yards in the play. Coming up for the tackle that time, Jerry Lamb, along with Tommy Breischer, and the ball moves forward to the 28-yard line, where it's 2nd and 8. Now Randall goes in the ball game as Dunn comes out. There's a pitch out to the right side to Morris. Morris finds a hole as he goes inside the 20 and is finally rolled out of bounds on the 17-yard line by Ronnie Cavanis, along with Jesse Brand. And the scoreboard clock rapidly ticking away to score the ball game. Mississippi 17, Arkansas 13. Less than a minute to go in this game here at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. And a personal foul has moved that ball now to the Arkansas 8-yard line, where it's 1st and goal to go. Griffing slides to his left. He keeps the ball, and he's hit and thrown for a slight loss on the play. Jim John in for the Arkansas Razorbacks, along with big Jerry Mazzatti, number 76. And now Woody Dabbs goes back in the ball game for the Rebels in an end spot, as Alan Brown, who's played a fine ball game, comes out. Griffing, this time in a quarterback sneak, can't find a hole off the left side, but the seconds are ticking away. 15 seconds to go. Mazzatti again in on the stop. The scoreboard clock, which is unofficial, shows just 10 seconds left to go. Ball spotted at the 10-yard line, and the seconds are ticking away. The scoreboard clock runs out. The official signal that's it. And that's the end of the game with the final score. Mississippi 17 and Arkansas 13. We'll be back in a moment with the final round.